Hey you guys, how's it going? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I go live or upload a new video. And please hit that like button for me. I've pretty much, you guys must have been praying for me because I've not been feeling too good at all. And I'm just now getting back to where I'm feeling a little bit better. But the thing with this COVID is that you start to think that you're feeling better, and then you don't. And you feel like 1 minute that it's just so hard to explain it. It's like it's like when you have the cold or the flu. Well, more like the flu. It's like when you have the flu, you feel like, eventually this is going to go away. You you sleep and you keep taking care of yourself. Eventually it's going to go away. But with having COVID, it's like you don't feel as sick as you would if you had the flu. But there's times when you literally can't, like you're gasping for breath. And then every day you keep thinking, okay, this is not getting better. And then you wonder, when is this going to go away? When am I going to get better? Because it just seems like it drags out and it drags out and drags out. And it seems like it just stays with you. It doesn't go away. But there are times when I would just, this is nothing like I had it the first time. The first time I had it, it's right when the COVID first started, and I ended up getting it, and it just mainly made me feel like I had not slept for a month straight, and I was so tired, and all I could do was just sleep. My body felt just so weak that all I could do was sleep. Every muscle in my body was so achy, and like I didn't have strength at all, and it just made me want to sleep all the time. And it felt like a sinus infection. And because I usually get a lot of sinus infections, and that's how it feels at first. It feels like your head is heavy, and it feels like it just makes your ears feel like they're full. And so then when you go to the doctor, then when you find out, because usually they'll say, yeah, you have an ear infection, you have a sinus infection, they give me antibiotics and send me home. But then when you find out it's like, wow, it's so familiar with a sinus infection. And so I was out of commission for every bit of those 14 days at first, because all I wanted to do was sleep. I couldn't do anything else. Well, then this time around, I noticed that, the first time I was a little bit out of breath, like when I came up the steps, or, when I got up and moved around too much. But basically I wasn't moving around too much because all I could do was sleep. So, but I did notice I ran out of breath a lot coming up the steps. But I guess that was kind of normal. But then the more times you get it, like the worse you feel. Like the more you can't breathe. And this time I noticed that with it, I wasn't tired all the time. I was still able to function, but I noticed that I couldn't breathe half the time. Like I literally, I couldn't take a full breath. I couldn't, It took a lot to be able to take in full breaths. So this time around, it basically started out with my head, like, well, first it started out 2 days before I went to the doctor. I was coming up the steps and I noticed I was a little bit out of breath, just a little bit. And my head was starting, to feel real full. My head felt like it had 10 basketballs like on top of it, and it felt like my ears were full. And then that's like 2 days of feeling like that, 2 or 3 days before I think I went to the doctor on the 3rd or 4th day, I think. But what made me really think to go to the doctor, because I don't like to go to doctors, is I was coming up the steps and I felt my heartbeat in my head, like in my ears. I felt my heartbeat, like my ear was thumping, like my heartbeat. And that scared me. So I thought, well, I'll go. Maybe I just, maybe I need some antibiotics for the sinus infection. Because, of course, even though I was doing the same thing I did the first time I had COVID, where I couldn't breathe, coming up the steps, it still didn't dawn on me. I thought maybe it was my high blood pressure, maybe it was my sinus infection, ear infection. And so I went to the doctor, and nope, it wasn't a sinus infection or ear infection, but the breathing, like the day after I went to the doctor, my breathing started getting worse. There was times I could be sitting down and not doing anything, and I would be like gasping for air. And I was so scared, because I could not breathe. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to go to no hospital so I can be put on no ventilator. No, they're not going to put me on no ventilator, because you ain't going to have me on no ventilator and have me not come off that ventilator. Nope, it was not going to happen, because no. So I just, whatever was going to happen was just going to happen at home. And luckily nothing horrible happened. I'm still not 100%. I'm not. I think it's a scary thing because we don't know what the long-term effects of this is, especially, people that's had it multiple times. It is my opinion, it's my preference. I'm not going to be getting no jab. But what really upsets me, is that now we have this, I guess they call it the Delta variant or whatever, that it's out now. And people I don't know how it is where you guys live, but here where I live, nobody is wearing a mask anymore. And even when I was sitting at the doctor's office, some lady was in there getting tested for COVID, and I had my mask on. I believe in wearing the mask because I believe in protecting myself. I believe in trying to protect other people. And this lady, she was just like sitting there coughing over everybody, and she wasn't even wearing a mask. And you knew she was there for a COVID test because, that's what she was, she's pretty loud. You could hear everything she was saying. So, and me and my daughter kind of just looked at each other and kind of just, shook our head, because we're thinking, how can you be so disrespectful knowing you could have that? And you're obviously here being tested for it, and you just don't care about people around you, and it's just sad. It's just where I live, it's a lack of respect for the other person, and it's very disrespectful, and I think it's a choice. You can wear it or not wear it, but at the same time, that's your free choice. But don't, if somebody says something to you or you're coughing all over them, like she was, eventually somebody's going to say something to you. So, anyway, with that being said, I just want to thank you guys. I know you guys were praying for me, because I don't think, if you were, I think maybe something bad could have happened. But I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get better. But like I said, with this one, it's not got me down like the even with the first time I had it, even then even though it had me down, it didn't even feel like the flu. It just felt like like my body was achy, and it's not the same kind of achy that like it is when you have the flu. The first time I had it, I did lose my taste, but the second time I didn't. And I think it's because with the first time I was taking all kinds of vitamin C's and stuff too, but this time I started, the doctor told me to make sure I took a lot of Mucinex and Sudafed and do it together. And also take my ibuprofen, and I was faithfully doing it every 4 hours. So I think that's probably what kept me from losing my taste this time. I think that's the only thing that kept me from losing my taste. But no, I didn't lose my taste this time. But like I said, it just started in my head, and then feeling like I had all kinds of basketballs on my head. And then, like I said, my ears were feeling full. I was feeling my heartbeat in my ear. And then it started like the achiness started in the back of my neck, and it worked its way down my back. And then my back felt so weak. And then a couple of days ago, it was like 3 days ago, because today I'm walking around okay, but it felt like my legs were like it hurt when I walk. My legs hurt like really bad. Like it felt like I don't even want to describe that, because it's but it felt like the bottom of my back was coming. You guys can guess what I'm saying. It just felt horrible. And then it made my legs feel so heavy. So I just want to say to everybody that just protect yourself. Wear a mask. And even that, I'm not even sure if that works. But because I do have to admit that I did, when I saw everybody not wearing a mask, there was a day or two there before I got sick that I was like not wearing one, because I thought everything, I'm like, if everybody else is not wearing one now, maybe things are okay. But no, things are not okay, guys. Just keep wearing your mask. Don't take that chance, because it's not worth it. It really is not worth it. And then just, if you don't have to go out, try not to go out. Just take care of yourself right now. Take a lot of vitamin C, wear your mask, take Echinacea. I have been taking Echinacea too. What else? Vitamin C. I've been doubling up on the vitamin C. Hot tea, oolong tea. Well, I haven't taken my oolong tea, but I've been drinking a lot of green tea, hot green tea with lemon. And then I'll take lemon, and I'll try to eat the lemon. I mean, it's healthy for you. And then also, I have nasal spray. It's like a saline or something. And that helps me, I guess, to, but I really think the Mucinex helped me to keep me from having to go to that hospital with breathing issues, because it was bad, guys. It was bad. Just please wear your mask. Don't, just because everybody else is not wearing it right now, don't be tricked into thinking everything's fine, because it's not. It's not. And I'm hearing that there's a lot more cases out there now. So just protect yourself and take care of yourself. So with that being said, I want to get on to this thing with Nature Boy. I want to let you guys know that Nature Boy did get back his channel, or his, whatever you guys call it, Bigo. He did get that back. And I think he is waiting until the 1st, because the 1st starts out a whole new pay thing for them. And I think he wants to start, I think right now he's gaining back his, trying to prepare himself for starting again on Bigo. So he's given himself this time, and also we know that if he starts on the 1st, it's like starting fresh as far as the pay goes. And Nature Boy came really close to losing his channel. He came very close to losing it this time. He wasn't even supposed to have it back. I don't know how he was able to get it back, but he was able to get it back. So this time, when he gets back on there, he is going to have to really mind his P's and Q's. He's just going to have to follow all of their rules, and he's going to have to, they're going to be watching him big time. And the first time he messes up, he's going to lose his channel again. So I think that we all know that Nature Boy is able to behave himself for a little bit, but he can't hold off for too long. He cannot go for too long without showing his true colors. He tries and he tries, but the same Nature Boy always comes back. And I believe that he is just going to continue the same cycle. I think maybe this time, when he starts to get comfortable, I think it's going to be worse. I think then we're going to see more of what's still going on. And I think he's trying to sugarcoat everything right now. He's trying to make everything seem good. He's trying to put on this face, as if everything's fine. He's back to teaching just the knowledge, and we all know what that knowledge is. It ain't nothing good. And now I did a video a few days ago where I said that I believe that that he could be possessed with Satan. And so do I think that he, if he's possessed by Satan, do I think that he could be the Antichrist? No, I don't think he is the Antichrist at all, in any way, shape, or form. I do believe that Satan, he knows that his time is short. He's going to be out here working more, whereas usually he just has his little fallen angels doing all the little things, all the jobs. But I think that now that we're nearing the end of time, Satan is going to be more involved, and I think that You know, I don't think that Nature Boy is fully possessed with Satan at all times. I think that I think Nature Boy has many different types of demons inside of him. I think that he has those different personalities that come out in him are different demons. But I do believe that Satan does get in him. I think that Satan does possess him at times. I don't think that he dwells within him at all times, but he does get in there, because there are times you can actually see it, hear it. You can hear it. You can hear Satan speaking through him. None of those other little demons that's in him are calling themselves God. It's when Satan enters him, that's when he's proclaiming himself to be God. And it's weird. It is weird. And I've came to that conclusion that yes, I do believe at times he is possessed by Satan himself. I mean, you can't deny that by listening to some of the things that he says. Now when you're listening to the other demons, it's just how those demons are, like the different personalities that come out in him. You know, there's times when he's abusive, or he's angry, or, you know, that's an anger demon. But then when he's sitting there telling you that he is God and that he is the Messiah, and then he says other things, that's when I believe at that moment he is possessed by Satan himself. And yes, you can be possessed by Satan. I think it's rare, but it happens. And I think that as we get closer to the end of time, we're going to see a lot more of this, as we already are with these false prophets. Now, where do I stand as far as when he comes back to Vigo? I will continue to report on Nature Boy, just because of the video that I seen today of Baby Jah, and the fact that there's so many people out there that's being misled by this false prophet. And I'm going to keep on his neck. And I think it's important to do that. And I think that baby deserves better. I think it's sad that they had him in front of that TV. It's like they were brainwashing him. And don't even get me started on that. It's just, that's a sad situation. And I hope that at some point that if nobody's going to go in and try to at least get him out of there, maybe the parents at least can grow some balls and get themselves out of there, because that's sad. Now, what even made me even want to start doing this is because I did notice when I was only going to do one video on Nature Boy and then just be done with it, because I seen something evil in him, but I didn't know how serious that it was until I looked up and saw a demon at my window, and I actually seen him shape-shifting. So I'm going to play those videos for you guys and see what you guys think of trying to film my Nature Boy exposed video. I felt so sick to my stomach. I was stumbling over my words. I couldn't get any words out that I wanted to say. I don't know how I was able to finish it, but I wasn't even able to finish the video. Now, my videos aren't really, it doesn't take me too long to even do a video, because my videos aren't that well edited, and I don't take a lot of time to do that, because I don't even know how to do that. I usually just make the video and upload it, period, and I'm done with it. But on this particular video, it literally took me 2 days, day and night, 2 days, 2 nights to finish that video. And I think it was because I literally could not get the words out of my mouth of what I wanted to say. I mean, every time I would go to try to speak, it was like something that stopped me. Like something in my brain that was like trying to jumble up the words or my thoughts to where I couldn't speak what I was thinking. So I had to literally stop the video so many times just to collect my thoughts. I had so much more in that video that I needed to say, and I had planned to say, but I ended up stopping the video a lot sooner than what I had originally planned on doing. By the time I was halfway through the video, I was so mentally and physically exhausted that I finally just said, you know what? I'm done. I can't do any more. And I was ready to wrap it up. And I was, saying that I was getting ready to end the video when I looked over and saw what appeared to be a demonic figure standing outside, not standing outside my window, but kind of outside my window. I immediately freaked out and ran and got my daughter because I wanted to see if she saw the same thing that I saw. So my daughter saw it, and I ended up taking a picture of it. And here is what it looks like. I want you guys to tell me what you think this thing is. Now, to me, it appears that it's a demon face with wings. I want to know what you guys think it is. So leave your comment below. And yeah, let's talk about it. Thanks for watching.
Chief. Now this is the sound of my people from New Orleans. I'm like, this is my folks from New Orleans. I'm like, how the fuck you find her? Like, she with my people from New Orleans. Like, yo, what the fuck? She like, I know, Chief, I know. I'm like, yo, this is some fucked up shit. You over there with my peoples in New Orleans? I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Are you okay? Are you, look, okay. I want you to see his eyes. You see that? You can look in that eye. Okay, look. See the difference between the pupils there? All right, I just caught that right there. There's something inside of him demonic. All right, and sometimes it even comes on the outside to where you can see it. Look at that. Look at his eye. Those are the eyes of a snake, a serpent, a demon. See that?
You with my people? I'm like, the fuck? She's like, Chief. Now this is the sound of my people from New Orleans. I'm like, this is my folks from New Orleans. I'm like, how the fuck you find her? Like, she with my people from New Orleans. Like, yo, what the
Here
fuck?
It comes.
She like, I know, Chief, I know. I'm like, yo, this is some fucked up shit. You over there with my peoples in New Orleans? I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
What the heck?
You with my people?
What
I'm like,
the
I'm trolling my, I'm
heck?
like, what the fuck are you?
So we all know Nature Boy has a job to do. His job is to teach this knowledge, this knowledge that was, it's an ancient type of knowledge that was found in the Garden of Eden, to use it to mislead you with this false religion of his, and to convince you that if you follow after them, or if you follow after that, then you are a god. The same thing that happened in the Garden of Eden, same thing that Satan is still trying to teach to you, the same thing he taught to Eve. So that is his job, and as long as he continues to do that, then they will continue to let him have his channel. The minute he breaks off again, and he will, but the minute he breaks off again and starts venturing off into his own thing and being rebellious, they will take everything from him again. Or worse, I don't know. But his job is to confuse you, to mislead you, and then lead you to hell. That is his job. And he was doing a very good job of it there for a while, until people started catching on and seeing things that he was doing. Because demons, they can't contain themselves for very long. So they're very rebellious, so I don't see him being able to contain himself for too long until his real self starts showing again. But we'll see. We'll see how long it takes for him to, mess up. So with that being said, you guys have a wonderful night. God bless, and take it easy.